Hi everybody, it's Mark and Wendy Pollock with Pollock Properties, powered by Keller Williams. Just giving you a quick market update.
Yeah, can you believe it's August? Holy cow, Mark, August is already here.
The year's more than half over.
Absolutely, and things in the real estate market could not be any more exciting than I think they have been. But now there's rumblings, and it's a completely emotional drive of what people are saying. We're hearing anything from the sky is falling to, oh, I'm not going to buy until the pricing goes down. What goes up must come down. How do you feel about that, Mark?
That's the law of gravity, not an economic model. So it's not practical what goes up. Actually, prices over the last 100 years have continually gone up. They've only gone down once over the course of across the country, and that was in 2008. And so Dave does a really good job.
And wait a second, let's stop there. The reason that they went down was we artificially inflated the market. So you have to understand, because that's really going to be important. When we're looking at the market, the only information we have to go on is really what's happened and the trends of the past. Correct, Mark?
Correct. And the lending practices were not lending to people that can't afford it, and then they had to foreclose, and that's essentially what caused it all.
And what we've done in this newsletter is we've linked an amazing, actually Dave Ramsey, we are actually ELP realtors with the Dave Ramsey program, and we think he did a really great job of summarizing and putting data-driven information out about the current real estate market versus a fear-based or an emotional charge synopsis of what's going on, and we've linked that below. We're going to be honest with you though, it's an hour long. It is well worth your time if you have any interest or are thinking about making a move in this time, but we just thought we would do a quick summary of what he was talking about. So that's exactly what this little clip is going to be about. So we're talking about that the prices have only gone down once
in the last 100 years, once. So prices continually go up, and in 2020 they actually went up 29%. So skyrocketed. In 2021 they went up 18%. This year it's predicted to be at 8%. So the difference between 29 and 8, it's a big jump, and next year they're thinking it's going to stay right at that 4% trend line that it has been over the 100 years, or as long as they've been tracking it. So the prices are not going to go down, it'll just be less of an increase.
And they've really leveled off, and that's what we're seeing. Instead of an auction market, we're seeing more trending towards what we call a balanced market, just a normalized. It is a great time if you're a buyer to buy, because as Mark pointed, the prices are not going to go down. They're predicting, if anything, they're just going to go up at a slower pace, thankfully, but they are still going to trend in that upward position. So you buying now versus a year from now, you'd actually be better off buying now.
Absolutely. It's a great time to buy. And it's supply and demand, and that's what drives the prices. And right now we have, why don't you talk about supply and I'll talk about demand?
Absolutely. So I'm gonna give you my elevator speech. So in 2000, so that you can compare 2009 to now. So in 2009, like we talked about, we created an artificial market, and that created a bubble. And what do bubbles do, Mark?
They burst.
They burst. Now, fast forward, what with the shortage in supply, because actually they're saying that we've been 2 decades short of homes, and some of those, and we're going to kind of talk about that. And then with the pressure of COVID, we've created a gap, a supply shortage. And what do gaps do? They just close. And that's what we're feeling right now. It's just the market is tightening. And the only thing that the government can do to help control, because as Mark said, what did you say? They went up 29%, 8%, right. Like that. We cannot keep, the economy actually can't absorb that at that rate for much longer. So with the government, the only thing they can control is the interest rates, and that's exactly what you saw. They can't make people move, they can't make builders build faster. All they can do is put the brakes on a bit by raising the interest rates, and that's exactly what it's done. But that gap is still so large, the prices are still up, because it truly is talk about an economic model. It's supply and demand. The shortage, we are still, what did they say, a quarter?
Yeah, there's used homes, there's a quarter of the homes out there compared to what was out in 2009. New construction is down 1 million. A million less new construction homes out because a lot of construction companies went out of business after 08 and they just never came back and didn't build as many homes.
Yeah, and the foreclosures are on a moratorium. So with COVID, they actually put foreclosures completely to a stop, and then many banks chose to extend that period. So foreclosures just, they're not even a thing right now. So again, there's our shortage.
Yeah, that's the supply side, and on the demand side, there's a lot more demand. There's 5 million more millennial buyers now looking for a home than there was in 2009. And there's actually 12 million more households than there was in 2009. So we've got a lot more people looking for homes. And
so in short, supply is down, demand is still up, and that's what's holding our prices. So it is not going to be a 2009. Those prices are not going to plummet. Like we said, we're just moving into what we call more of a balanced market, and that is actually a healthy market for everyone involved.
yeah,
So
yeah. In summary, if your family is ready to move, you're ready to buy, it's a good time to buy. And if you're ready to sell, it's still a very good time to sell. So,
yeah, and if you'd like to discuss your situation further with us, please, as we always preach, real estate is hyper local, and we would love to discuss your particular area and situation with you. And don't miss out. Honestly, it really, if this is your thing or you're thinking about it, it's worth the watch with how Dave and his team really takes what we just said in 6 minutes, and they really delve into it. And the beauty is it's completely, there is no emotion involved. It is all data driven, and he shows some really great graphs in there that will, like I said, it's all in that link. So definitely worth your watch.
all right.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good one. Bye.
Take care.